Good afternoon, everybody. I'd firstly like to welcome you to the celebration of Kendall and Dan's wedding. And secondly, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for playing your part in making this the proudest day of my life. Thank you all so much. You could rehearse 100 times for a wedding ceremony, but it can never prepare you for some of the moments today, for me, where time stood still. I'm not a religious man, but today I sense something quite spiritual, which I will keep with me forever. It's because of those feelings that I would like to thank everyone involved in the wedding service and all the staff here at the Abbey for preparing such a wonderful venue. I know there are some of you here today who have travelled and may not have visited Combe before, and may not be aware of the magnificent grounds that surround the Abbey. If you do get a chance throughout the day, do have a wander. I'm sure you'll be well impressed, especially on such a beautiful day. The elegance and grandeur, the capability Brown Design Gardens, well, that didn't really mean much to me and my mates when we were growing up. Combe was just the biggest, best playground any kids could have. We used to take an hour or so off our journey, taking a shortcut across a farmer's field, legging it whilst dodging salt pellets from an angry farmer's gun. But as adults, when I visit now, all I seem to dodge now is the car park attendant. But when I heard Kendall and Dan had chosen Combe, it brought a serious lump to my throat. As well as it being my childhood playground, it became a special place for Kendall and Johnny. Johnny being Kendall's younger brother, if that remembers.
Yeah, Johnny!
Yeah. It was a magic place where two children could let their imaginations go wild. For Johnny, out there was Middle Earth. And for Kendall, it was always Narnia, especially when the snow settled. And I see her today looking absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But I also remember looking beautiful in oversized wellies and covered head to toe in mud. Kendall's always made us proud on many occasions throughout her education, getting her grades and then her degree. But before this goes to her head, I'd just like to remind her of a 4-year-old little minx being dragged kicking and screaming through the school gates. But Kendall the minx gave way to a cheerful, delightful, well-behaved, studious girl. Until... somewhere in Kendall's mid-teens, something very strange happened. The oversized wellies came back out again, and we had the hippie chick. And I looked at this hippie chick and I thought, hey man, where did that come from? But the hippie chick was closely followed by the free spirit woman. Wow. And I knew exactly where that came from. These different phases in Kendall's life has helped to shape the young lady we see before us today. The successful student, now finding the career she's worked so hard for. and the hippie chick, who lives a life with fun and compassion for others, and the free spirit woman that will help them make the right choices in life. And one day, when she's taken her children to school for the first time, she may just expel the minx. Or just keep a little bit. The next chapter for Kendall, I'm glad to say, involves the guy to her right. It is to the right. Yeah. So I wrote this speech not knowing how things were going to be sorted. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't too sure about Dan. He supported Man United, which is a complete no-no.
You're an Arsenal fan.
He was a better golfer than me, which I have to concede. No problem with that, really. And Dan asked me for Kendall's hand in marriage when I was really quite drunk, which smacked a little bit of cowardice to me. But the lad came good. He made amends by doing something I would recommend any young man do to impress a future father-in-law. Dan went out and he bought a cider press. When Dan had gone through the process of cider making, he invited me over to sample. Oh. The bouquet, I thought, had a suggestion of Norwegian wood, which was quite appropriate, as an hour later I went off to sleep in the bath. Thank you so much for that response. I really feel quite smug now. My partner Lorraine said, for God's sake, don't use the line about Norwegian wood, it's going to go... So thank you for that. And there may be sort of a Dan there. Dan, they're not always right. But before retiring to the bath that night, Dan, incredibly, asked me for Kendall's hand in marriage. Again. So I would just like to assure Dan that if I've been sober on any of those occasions, the answer would have been a resounding yes. And I would also like to assure Dan that it's an honour to unite our families, and I'm proud to call Dan my son-in-law, and more importantly, a good friend for life. Cheers, Dan. That just leaves me to ask you to raise your glasses to toast the bride and groom. To Kendall and Dan.
Kendall and Dan. Hey.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Joe. Well done.
Where's the karaoke?